What's going on, Patriot fans? Welcome back to the PrimeTime Patriots podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jake Mott. Excited to be breaking down this matchup coming up in just a few hours here in Gillette Stadium. It's going to be the 3-4-1 Indianapolis Colts coming to Gillette to take on the Patriots. So, this team, the Colts, spiraling out of control, right? They just fired their offensive coordinator and benched Matt Ryan for the season. Second-year quarterback Sam Ehlinger, who is a sixth-round pick out of Texas, is going to be taking the snaps under center. He saw some action last week. He saw some action in his rookie season as well. Very limited action, but this will be his second start. And straight up, let's be honest here. This is a game you got to win. You got a team that's in shambles right now. Their expectations are they're shooting way under their expectations, Jonathan Taylor's not really showing up. We'll get more into that when we jump into their offense. But again, this is a game that the Patriots absolutely need to win if they're a team that wants to make some sort of playoff push or be more competitive in the AFC East, right? This is when you can't let slip up. So let's look a little more specifically. We'll start with their offense against our defense. So their offense has been their biggest disappointment by far. Their defense is what they were supposed to hang their hat on. And for the most part, that's been relatively consistent. Their defense isn't horrendous. We'll explain that as we get to it. Their offense has been the biggest disappointment, especially Jonathan Taylor and their running game. They're 27th and 29th in rush yards and touchdowns, respectively. And they've had success in terms of passing, but turnovers and sacks usually follow in huge numbers. Early on in this season, Matt Ryan, the sack numbers and the interception numbers were crazy. The fumble numbers were also crazy. Matt Ryan was just a turnover machine for the first few weeks of this season. It got slightly better, but again, not good enough for Matt Ryan to hold on to that position, right? So he's out. Ehlinger is in. The running game shouldn't change. If anything, it makes it more one-dimensional, right? You have to defend the pass a lot less, or hypothetically a lot less, against a rookie quarterback or a first-year starter quarterback. So you really should be able to stack that box and really try to shut down Jonathan Taylor, a guy who has caused problems for you in the past, right? We all remember, I believe it was last year, it might have been 2 years ago, running all over us, made us look silly, right? So he has that potential, but all year that's really not been the case for this Colts offense. Again, their new OC and young QB, got to get it done. I'd be very, very surprised if there's not one, at least. There might be 2 turnovers by the Colts on this team. I'd be very, very surprised if they don't do it at least once, right? Sam Ehlinger, you never see this, right? So from a betting perspective, if you ever want to bet on a guy getting an interception, the odds are usually never below minus 200, right? That means it's a sure bet. His is minus 260. It's it's going to happen, which is crazy, right? An interception. Obviously, Sam Ehlinger's not trying to throw a pick out there, but it's more than likely that that's going to happen. Patriots also one of the top units in terms of forcing interceptions, great ball hawking secondary. They love to get in the head of young, inexperienced quarterbacks and really take advantage of that. So look for Coach Belichick to throw him some weird looks, and hopefully it'll result in a couple turnovers for the Patriot defense. So, jumping to their defense against our offense, this will be a little briefer even. Their defense is pretty good. They're right around 10th in most categories, but they're definitely weaker against the run, which should work in your favor. And it should be a good play action week too, right? So the game script, I hate saying this because it seems to be the game script almost every week, but if you can start good against this team and if you can get up maybe 1 or 2 scores early, you can really, really grind this team in terms of the run game, right? You can just pound Ramondre Stevenson, and that's the guy I'm looking to have a really, really big day today. So Damian Harris missed a bunch of practice time this week with an illness. I'm not sure what his status is for this game. He might not even be playing in this game. So regardless, hasn't gotten a bunch of time. Belichick doesn't love to ride guys who haven't had a lot of time in practice. So look for Ramondre Stevenson to really be taking a bulk of that load at running back, and I think he's going to do a great job with it. We saw last week, right? He had 72 yards rushing and another 71 through the air, right? So 73 or 140 something yards all purpose. That's great from Ramondre Stevenson. Look for him to do it again. I'm very curious to see how he's used again in the pass game today. Again, led the team in catches with 7 last week and receiving yards. Very curious to see how that's going to translate against this defense for the Colts. People you got to look out for, Stephon Gilmore. We're all very familiar with Stephon Gilmore. He's over in Indianapolis now. He's wearing number 5, and that's secondary, so look for him to be ball hawking. And then Darius Leonard is obviously the star name that you have to circle when you go up against this Colts defense. He should be out there today. He's a filthy linebacker, top 3 in the game, no question. So look for him to be making plays. But again, the run game has been the struggle for this Colts defense. Look for the Patriots to attack it today, and hopefully it'll be effective for them. So in terms of final predictions, again, this will be a pretty short pod, but it's coming up on Sunday on game day, so I want to just keep it brief for you guys so you have an idea what to look out for. But anyways, predictions. I got the Patriots winning this one 23-16. I think this is one of those games, too, that you could see the Patriots kind of jump out maybe 17-3 or something, right? And then the game kind of meanders and it's pretty slow, and they get a couple touchdowns towards the end, but it's never really close. That's kind of the game I see coming at us today. If it is a tight game, if it is a close game, hopefully a shootout wouldn't be awful, right? Because if you can win in a shootout or you can get into a shootout, at least your offense, you can see where your offense is at. Your offense is in such a weird position right now. Really going to see how they're going to respond against this Colts defense, which again, not awful, but they're middling, right? And this is a defense you should be able to take advantage of, really pound the rock. They play into your favor in a lot of ways, right? So look for a lot of play action this week as well. They're really, really avoiding the play action with Mac Jones, and I'm not sure why. Hopefully they get some more of those today. Hopefully you can get some wide open receivers like we've seen. Bailey Zappi had a bunch of wide open receivers on these play action passes, right? So hopefully that can be the case for Mac Jones today. Hopefully the Patriots can pull out what is a much needed win, right? And then they got the bye week coming up next week. So I will be tuning in with you guys in the next couple days to break this game down. Then we'll have the bye week, and then I'll see you guys again to break down whatever game's coming up soon. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Short pod today, coming up on game day, so just wanted to get it out there for you guys. Enjoy the game. Have a great time. Have a great Sunday. Go Pats.